Hey, there's Art.
Yeah.
What's up, Art?
Not much.
Down here again, huh?
Yes, I am. Once again.
And you want to just briefly tell me? I've got a little bit of info already, but if you want to just kind of give me your opinion about what's going on down here.
Well, I got something that I can read. So,
okay.
So what this is, since we're over here, and since we've been camping out front, it's been very simple. You know, it reads: we are asking all people that are going to be camping at City Hall to please sign this and agree in compliance with our code of conduct as set forth below. Please understand, if you don't comply with our code of conduct, then you will be asked to leave. No exceptions. That means if I have family members or people have family members here and they're visiting for a little bit, we want to make sure they understand what we're asking. We got a couple simple things that we ask: no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no violence, respect each other's space, and also clean up after yourself and your animals. We have like 2 dogs and about 3 cats here. Everybody's been very good about making sure to keep an eye on the animals, make sure they're fed, make sure they got water. Also, it says when you are asked to do something, please just do it, and if you have questions at a later time for clarification, they can come to me, they can come to a couple. So what's going to happen is, since you're here filming, I'm going to go ahead and have you sign, I sign. And what happens is, since Keith's not here, Perry has been graciously enough to be the stand-in. So we're asking, you know, from City Hall and things of that sort. You know, we are here tonight doing a peaceful demonstration to show that due to the lack of affordable housing, affordable means that a minimum wage worker or social security recipient can afford it, or adequate shelter, that this is the only area that is truly safe to camp inside the city of Portland. We really need places that we are able to go for the night and know that we are going to be safe. By safe, we mean that we'll be able to pitch a tent or sleep in a shelter or live in a tent city or car without harassment from the Portland, from the police and private police. It says, like, we need a safe place for tent cities, we need a safe place for campsites, and we need a shelter now before the weather turns bad. It just highlights a couple things, like what's going to be asked about in the tent cities. We want to make sure we have bathrooms. We want to make sure that they can be able to put up their tents, and also we want to be able to make sure that, you know, services can come out and ask people what they want and what they need. Also, if there becomes a tent city, almost like Dignity Village, or Friendship Park in Sacramento, California, that's through Loaves and Fishes. You know, they got some very good programs. I'm looking at like maybe 3 or 4 that hold up to like what we've been having out here, like pop up 3 tent cities. Max is about 25. They govern themselves. It's ran by themselves. But every month, who's ever in charge or that group gets together and talk about what's going on. If they're having problems, what can they do with the problems? But it's a couple easy rules. And we've been doing it for 2 weeks now. You know.
Would you accept them being part of the commission that helps decide how things are going, like somebody sitting on an opinion from the cities?
Yes, well, definitely. You know, I hear that they have the alternative committee. That's with Sally Erickson and a few others, Sisters of the Road, also with Israel Street Roots and Mark Jolin. And there's quite a few other people at the table. Right now, I have some notes on that, and I've just been reading it. I'm out here as an individual and a person that's concerned about a concerned citizen, plainly, to say, hey, this is an issue that's at hand, and I'd really like to sit down with some folks and talk to them about what's going on. You know, suspend. Like last year when I did the anti-camping ordinance and sit-lie is gone. Suspend it 3 months. Give us a chance to show like we can make these campsites, outreach over to the services and say, hey, these are some of the services we need. Can you come by? By the 2nd month, you know, we should be able to start to look at what some guidelines are and some pretty good rules for a tent city and what that looks like. Find 3 viable areas, bring in honey buckets, bring in services, bring in a big giant garbage receptacle, but also look at it as, hey, bring in a couple smaller ones or one of the half-size ones to do recycle. We could do all that. And then the last piece is give us the shelter now, which really we need that first. But people out here are still out here due to the fact is they don't want to be inside. It's hard. So let them be able to camp in a few areas. You know, let there be 5 camp areas. And like I said, they govern themselves, they come together, they talk to us, and we do a lot of things together.
Do you got a couple ideas in mind where you'd like to do some tent places, or it's up for suggestions pretty much, or?
It's up for a few suggestions. There's a couple that are actually out of Fairless Square, but you do have a lot of folks that walk all over the place anyways. Some folks have their shopping carts, some folks have their bikes and stuff like that. It may be like, hey, one area that's across the river, it's a safe place, they can ride their bikes back and forth. That may be that one. But folks with like shopping carts, or they can't walk too far, there's over by the Still Bridge. There's 2 little parks right there by the Still Bridge. Back over by the 405. Maybe over back behind, what is it, Union, the Yards. There's a couple places. So it just depends, you know. That's what I can say off the top of my head that I've seen that could fit anywhere from, say, 8 to 10 solid. But I want to see, and my major goal is to get at least 2 right now for the city commission to say, hey, this is where we want to go, and within 6 months to have like 10, 15 of them, because for a tent city to have it again, like Dignity Village, it's going to take some time, legal-wise, paperwork, services, money from city council to get this going again.
Do you feel like it's going to cost the city a lot to do this?
Not really.
Yeah.
I think all the time and energy is going to come from those folks who's going to be out here, you know. But here's the problem: in those little tent cities, or at the campsites in the tent city, we got to recognize. We got to recognize people with disability, mental illness, all the way across the spectrum. That includes a single man, a single woman. Have services if there's a single man or a single woman that have kids, that we can talk to somebody right away. You know, when they walk in and say, hey, we have this, can you come over here, or we'll provide something to get them to where we got to go. And it doesn't matter what time of the day. So that may be a little bit to where somebody would have that 24-hour service to be able to answer, have a vehicle to pick them up if they come to one of the campsites.
Right.
Also, there's couples out here that are not married. They split them up. There's men out here that have their animals. There's women out here that have their animals. And if they're a husband and wife, they still get split up. So you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of that happening. There's no shelter like that now. When the winter shelters and severe weather shelters open up, they let folks stay like that. But what happens, there's limited space, and sometimes their rules are a little bit extreme, like with my friend Perry and Michaela. He's in a wheelchair, and it's hard for her, and some of the services are upstairs. So, yeah, that becomes a hard part. For me, I'm on a cane, but I can actually make it. But for him in a wheelchair and some health problems that she has, it takes her a long time to even go up one flight of stairs. But that's some of the services they have out here for the winter shelters.
Do you feel like with Fish and Fritz on board, do you think that's going to be a little bit in our benefit here to help with some of these issues? Do you feel some hope there? Or?
I'm hoping. I like to hopefully sit down with them, talk to them, and they know that there's an urgency. You know, Amanda has once said there's an urgency, and if people are starting to rally up together and start demonstrating and protesting, that it's going to stop what's going on. You know, but here's the thing also, that while we're here, the weekend we're going to take advantage and be here on the weekend, throughout the night, throughout the day. But when it becomes Monday morning, before 7 a.m., all of us, our whole campsite here.